Okay, welcome dear students. We will continue our lecture of evolutionary biology. So since last four lectures we are studying the origin of life, how the life is originated on earth. In last period we have seen that Miller-Urey experiment in 1953, and they have shown that the four gases were there like water vapors, or we can say hydrogen, nitrogen, methane, and they compiled it together with a lightning and created a protein molecule. That protein molecule was first RNA or nucleotide we can say, and then ATP. So they both were made, come together, and revolution is created. Second thing is that last time we have also seen that the life was created on earth, and all the life on the earth have a basic or a common ancestor. What common ancestor, that we will see one by one. But last time we have seen that bacteria and eukarya are developed. How and what, that we will see in the next. Now, the earliest complex land plants date back to around 850 MA from carbon isotopes in a Precambrian rocks, while algae-like multicellular land plants are dated back even to about 1 billion years ago. Okay, although evidences suggest that microorganisms formed the earliest terrestrial ecosystems at least 2.7 billion years ago. So, microorganisms are thought to have paved the way for the inception of land plants in the Ordovician. This is the period, like Jurassic period. Ordovician is also one of the period. And land plants were so successful that they are thought to have contributed to the late Devonian extinction event, and the long causal chain implied seems to involve the success of early tree Archaeopteryx. One drew down CO2 levels, leading to global cooling and lowered sea levels. Second, roots of Archaeopteryx fostered soil development, which increased rock weathering, and the subsequent nutrient runoff may have triggered algal blooms resulting in anoxic events which caused marine life dies off, and marine species were the primary victims of the late Devonian extinction. So this was the thoughts put forth by some scientists during the Ordovician period. Now, prior to that, what the bacteria have done, that we will see, or what the bacteria have made changes themselves. So, Ediacara biota appears during the Ediacara period or Ediacarna period, while vertebrates, along with most other modern phyla, originated about 525 MA, or we can say million years ago during the Cambrian explosion. And during the Permian period, synapsid, including the ancestors of mammals, dominated the land, but most of this group become extinct in a Permian or Triassic extinction events 252 MA. During the recovery from this catastrophe, Archosaurus become the most abundant land vertebrates. Actually, in that period, reptiles were there, or reptile-like small animals were there. The dinosaurs dominated the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. After the Cretaceous and Paleocene extinction, even 66 MA killed off the non-avian dinosaurs. Mammals increased rapidly in size and diversity. Such a mass extinction may have accelerated evolution by providing opportunities for new group of organisms to diversify. या डिओनियन पिरियड्समध्ये आर्कोप्टेरिस नावाच्या काही वनस्पती पण जन्माला आल्या आणि त्या समुद्रामध्ये फार विकसित झाल्या. मग समुद्रामध्ये त्या वनस्पती विकसित झाल्या म्हणजे अन्न तयार झालं सुरुवातीला, आणि मग त्याला खाण्यासाठी वेगवेगळे सजीव जन्माला आले. तर त्या जन्माला येणाऱ्या सजीवांमध्ये सरपटणाऱ्या प्राण्यांची संख्या खूप वाढली आणि जुरासिक पिरियड आहे हा सगळा सरपटणाऱ्या प्राण्यांची पिरियड आहे. आता डायनोसॉर्स हे सुद्धा सरपटणारे प्राणी होते, रेप्टाईल्स होते, परंतु रेप्टाईल्सचा उद्रेक झाला, म्हणजे पृथ्वीमध्ये लाव्हारसचा उद्रेक झाला आणि मोठा भूकंप होऊन मोठमोठ्या ॲक्टिव्हिटी होऊन घडामोडी होऊन बरेच डायनोसॉर्स लुप्त झाले आणि त्यामुळे 4 पायांचे संस्थान प्राण्यांच्या विकासाला मार्ग मोकळा झाला आणि त्यांचा विकास मग झपाट्याने झाला, असं काही शास्त्रज्ञांचं म्हणणं आहे. आता बघूया आपण अर्लिएस्ट हिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्थ. अगदी सुरुवातीला पृथ्वीचा इतिहास काय म्हणतो. द ओल्डेस्ट मेटिओराइट fragments found on Earth are about 4.55 billion years old. This, coupled primarily with the dating of ancient lead deposits, has put the estimated age of Earth at around that time. The Moon has the same composition as Earth crust but does not contain an iron-rich core like the Earth's. Many scientists think that about 40 million years after the formation of Earth, it collided with a body the size of Mars, throwing into orbit crust material that formed the Moon. Another hypothesis is that the Earth and Moon started to coalesce at the same time. Actually, it should be a collapse or something like same time, but the Earth, having much stronger gravity than the early Moon, so attracted almost all the iron particles in the area. Until 2001, the oldest rocks found on Earth were about 3.8 billion years old, leading scientists to estimate that the Earth's surface had been molten until then. Accordingly, they named this part of Earth's history the Hadean. However, analysis of zircons formed 4.4 billion years ago indicates that Earth crust solidified about 100 million years after the planet's formation, and that the planet quickly acquired oceans and an atmosphere which may have been capable of supporting life. So evidences from the Moon indicates that from 4 to 3.8 billion years ago, it suffered a late heavy bombardment by debris that was left over from the formation of solar system, and the Earth should have experienced an even heavier bombardment due to its stronger gravity. While there is no direct evidence of conditions on Earth 4 to 3.8 billion years ago, there is no reason to think that the Earth was not also affected by this late heavy bombardment, and this event may well have stripped away any previous atmosphere and oceans, and in this case, gases and water from comet compacts may have contributed to their replacement. Although outgassing from volcanoes on Earth would have supplied at least half. However, if subsurface microbial life had evolved by this point, it would have survived the bombardment. So these are the two things to be considered. Now, earliest evidences for life on Earth shows that the earliest identified organisms were minute and relatively featureless, and their fossil look like small rods that are very difficult to tell apart from structures that arise through abiotic physical processes. The oldest undisputed evidence of life on Earth, interpreted as fossilized bacteria, dates to 3 billion years ago. Other finds in rocks dated to about 3.5 billion years ago have been interpreted as bacteria, with geochemical evidences also seeming to show the presence of life 3.8 billion years ago. However, these analyses were closely scrutinized and non biological processes were found which could produce all of the signatures of life that had been reported. While this does not prove that the structures found had a non biological origin, and they cannot be taken as clear evidence for the presence of life. So, geochemical signatures from the rocks deposited 3.4 billion years ago have been interpreted as evidences for life. Although these statements have not been thoroughly examined by critics, so evidences for fossilized microorganisms considered to be 3.77 billion to 4.28 billion years old and was found in the Nuvvuagittu greenstone belt, Quebec in Canada. And although the evidence is disputed in inconclusive. So these are the signatures of life and concluded by the earliest evidences. Actually, there is also no foolproof evidence provided by the same. Now, the origin of life on Earth, as we have seen previously, that bacteria, archaea, and eukarya are there. So, in that, all the cyanobacteria, thermobacteria, aquitera, spirochetes, all these microorganisms or bacterial materials, then archimaterials like pyrodictyum, thermoproteus, T cellular, then methanosaccharidina, all these together also have the same origin, and eukarya, all the eukaryotic materials present on the earth right now, slime molds, then entamoeba, animals, fungus, plants, ciliate, flagellates, all they also have the same origin. Therefore, phylogenetic tree of life shows that all these living beings on earth have a one single common origin. Biologists reason that all living organisms on earth must share a single last universal ancestor, because it would be virtually impossible that two or more separate lineages could have independently developed and the many complex biochemical mechanisms common to all living organisms, and therefore we can say that all these have a single common ancestor, and this one is the basic element of the earth on earlier life. So we will concise here our speech right now, and further discussion will be in the next period.